Hey everybody, it's Heather from Love How Deep, and Brian's here with me too. And we are so excited that you have chosen to tune in, to listen, or to watch. And so, whatever platform you're using, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and even share it with anyone else that this content may help. All right, so we're going to jump in, and I've got a question for you.
What's your question? You love to ask questions.
I do.
So I can't wait.
I'm
I don't know if I have an answer, but we'll see.
Let's see. Okay. If you knew that Jesus was coming over to your house for dinner tonight, what would you do? Where would your focus be? What is the one thing that you're like, oh, I need to do? What would it be? So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay. I know where my mind immediately went, but yeah, I'm not going to steal your thunder, so go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is coming to you from Luke 10:38 through 42. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. And it says, as Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. And I love that because I think that we are in this story, whether you are Martha or you are Mary, we are all in this story at one point in our lives. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's start with Martha. She invited him over, so she is the hostess with the mostest, and she's going to do all. And if you have ever thrown a party, a baby shower, a bridal shower, a graduation party, a kid's birthday party, had friends over for dinner, a Bible study, because there's a Bible study in my house. No matter what it is, there's a lot of things that you have to do to prepare for that. And so there's all of the planning, there's the purchasing, and there's the preparation. And they all start with P. Gotta love that, right? There's the cleaning and the cooking and I don't have anything else that starts with C. But there's all of those things that you have to do.
Right.
And you know what happens is it takes up all of your brain space. It's all you can think about because why? You want it to be perfect. When my friends come over for Bible study, I want my house to be clean. Like there's going to be cat hair somewhere, but I want my house to be clean. All the clutter put away. And if I'm hosting friends at our house, I want the food to taste right. I don't stress about cooking, but if somebody's coming to my house to eat, I stress. Did I flavor it right? Inevitably something goes wrong. I don't know. But we worry about those kinds of things. We want it to look good, to sound good, to feel good. We want everyone to feel welcomed and engaged and all of that.
I joke a lot of times that the only times I like to really do a deep cleaning are when either company's coming over or we're selling the house. Shouldn't I want to do those things without that? But anyway.
And why is Martha doing that? If she's like us, which she is, she wants to impress Jesus. He is known throughout the land. Everybody knows who he is. They know what he stands for. And it's, whoa, he's coming to my house. She wants to impress him because he is the Son of God. And so I think we can all identify with that. And like we can see ourselves in her because we behave that way as well. But what happens when you're in that headspace of, I got to do this, I got to do this, got to check the box and make the list and check them twice and so much to do. What happens to your spouse? What happens, Brian, when I'm trying to prepare for something? Do I forget about you?
Probably feeling forgotten. That's what
probably
I was going to say.
Feeling forgotten. Yeah. I'm probably snapping at you like, hey, I need you to scrub that toilet.
Thank you for admitting that. I appreciate that. I'm kidding.
No, it's true though. Like we tend to get short with each other. And if we're trying to plan and do something or whatever, and you said it yesterday when we were talking about it, it's like the hurrying and scurrying around that we're doing in order to make things perfect.
Yeah. And I don't know, I didn't think about this until now, but as you were reading this, I was thinking, why didn't Martha take care of a lot of these things before Jesus and everyone came over? I don't want to judge her because I don't know what was going on beforehand, but this would be like you saying we're going to have a party at 3:00 and at 3 o'clock, you're halfway done with cleaning the house. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, we won't worry about that. I'm probably diving way too
That's
deeply into this.
right. Because
Yeah.
why bother doing anything unless you know for sure it's coming? It's not like they had cell phones to text and say, hey.
Yeah. True. Good point. Good
Okay.
point. Yeah. All right. We're
We
going to
got,
cut Martha a little bit of slack.
and we're going to get back on track.
Okay. Let's get back on track.
All right. So I do feel like Martha's intentions were very good. That's you want to present your best self to people. She did to
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sure.
I think it's good. Like we
Yeah.
can't say, oh, you're at fault. How dare you think of all of
Right.
that stuff before the Lord? But we are her, she is us.
Right.
It's there.
And there's a time and place
There is.
for everything.
So now we're going to talk about Mary. Mary, it says she's sitting at his feet. She is in awe of him. So imagine being in the presence of anyone famous, like a famous actor, a famous musician, or a speaker, or the president, or the queen, or the anything like that. Imagine that's probably how Mary's feeling sitting at the feet of Jesus. Oh my gosh, he's here in my house.
Yeah.
And he's a teacher. Like he's teaching people. She's sitting at his feet just, oh, wow. He's so wise. And he's talking and speaking. She is just absorbing everything that he is saying, which is what the Lord wants us to do when he's speaking, when the Holy Spirit is talking to us. We need to absorb that, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you've had times in your life where you've had those God moments where you're just like, you feel like in that moment you are sitting at the feet of Jesus and he is talking to you. The Spirit is telling you something. And you're just like, wow, you're having a conversation with him almost. And it's, wow, you're in awe. You're in awe. And you might look at her and say, she's being awfully lazy because she lives in that house. You're like, shouldn't she be helping? It's her sister. Even if she doesn't live there, shouldn't she be helping? Her thought was, this great man is in my house. I'm going to sit at his feet and I'm going to take a selfie with him. I'm going to get his autograph. I'm going to buy his t-shirt and his book on tape.
Right.
Like this is like
book on tape. Wow, you're
book
going
on
way
tape.
back.
We just went way back. We're going to age ourselves here. But she's sitting at his feet, and which is what maybe many of us have had those moments too. When Martha sees this, she's upset because she wants the preparations done. She wants to serve Jesus food. She invited him over to feed him dinner. Come on, let's feed him dinner. We can talk over dinner. And so she tells Jesus, make her get up and help me. And he says, no, he does not reprimand her. He actually, I think it comes down to focus. While Martha's intentions were good, Mary's intentions were pure. And Jesus said, I'm not going to take that from her because she's resting in him and she's learning. And that's where Jesus wants us to sit at his feet and worship him and rest in him, learn from him. That's where he wants us. And when I think about like us, our daily lives, the daily grind, our focus and our attention is on all that stuff that's going on. And our spouses get tossed to the side. And it's not necessarily because you're throwing a party. It's just you're working and you got grocery shopping and you got somebody you need to go visit and you've got to sit down and do your bills, like whatever it is. That's the daily grind. That's the stuff. Mary's stuff was preparation for Jesus to come to dinner. But we're there every day. And is our focus on getting that stuff done, which there's nothing wrong with it. It has to be done. But where does your focus need to be? It needs to be on Jesus.
Yeah, we had a party that we gave on Friday night at the community clubhouse. And I don't always get this right, but I don't want to say I'm proud of myself because that sounds like I'm being a little not very humble. But anyway, at the end of the night, we were wrapping up, and I remember I was over at the sink washing some dishes, and this older couple that we really love, just care about immensely, going through some stuff. And I remember thinking, I could hurry up and finish washing these dishes as everybody is leaving, or I can just stop that for just a minute. It's going to take 2 minutes and walk over and be fully present with this couple and tell them how much I appreciated them coming and thank them for the time that they gave, because I know that sometimes it can be difficult for them to to get out and do things. And then it
I
was
love
like
that.
it took 2 or 3 minutes out of my life, and then I went right back to washing dishes after that.
Right after everyone
So,
left, that's when the
right.
cleanup
So,
started. And
yeah.
yeah,
So I had a moment of where I could have been Martha, and then I
hmm,
probably did wrestle with that a little bit. I want to be Martha. I want to get all this done so we can get home. But
right.
then Mary entered into the picture and said, take a breath, spend some time with these people, and show them how much you love them and care about them. And then you can go back to being Martha.
And getting taking care of all the daily tasks. And I really like that because in taking care of all those daily tasks, our spouses and our children, they can be so forgotten about, so overlooked, and we don't want that. It doesn't draw you together as a family. And so if you can just set it aside for a moment and just say, okay, I get it, you're going to bed in 30 minutes, let me come spend a little bit of time with you. Let
Yeah.
me, what's it going to hurt that I can put this
Right.
off for just a wee bit, and let that focus be on your family, because I think that would be what matters most to Jesus, that you're caring for the person, not more than you're caring about the stuff, because that other stuff you're going to get it taken care of.
Yeah.
You are. And all of these other things, they're temporal, but our lives with him, it's eternal. That's what matters. And so, yeah, in this world with all the stuff going on where it says we're going to have troubles and we're going to have trials and tribulations, all these things, we're also going to have blessings and good stuff. Don't let all of that other stuff and getting it fixed and taking care of it overshadow your family, and especially your marriage and your relationship with Jesus. Treat it like Mary. Just sit at the feet of Jesus, and then because you're putting him first, he's going to help you get everything else taken care of. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Good stuff. I think we're good, right? We're going to wrap this thing up. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. Again, just remember, it's okay to be a Martha occasionally. We got to get things done, of course, but there's a time and a place for everything. And in those moments when somebody needs you or your spouse needs you, we would encourage you, maybe it's better to be more like Mary, and just take a breath, take a pause, and just spend some good quality time with each other. So,
with Jesus and with each other.
that's right. Hey, thanks again for joining us. Before we go, remember, we've got a great communication packet that we think would be very helpful for you. So if you go to lovehowdeep.com, and I'll put a link in wherever you're listening or watching this episode to get our free communication guide to help you connect and communicate better. And with that, we are going to say goodbye. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you next time. Take care.